Hello everybody, it's Crazy Logics 007 on YouTube and Crazy Logics in the forum, and everybody else just calls me Damon. I just bought a 1980 Chevy, or GMC, sorry, Jimmy, so it'd be a Chevy Blazer K5, same difference. And we're going to see if we can get it to run, because I got to drive it home or get it home somehow, because it's got to be out of here, or we're going to lose the shop. Oh, I don't have a shop. We're going to lose the garage, maybe my shed. My wife is not going to be happy when I bring it home. How about that? Anyway, let's get to it. There's some really cool stories I can tell, because I had a 79 Chevy Blazer, and it kind of is all in the family along with this one, and those crazy stories include good memories with buddies rebuilding transmissions that my buddy's no longer with us and stuff, so that's good memories, and they also include jail time and other stuff like that. So stick around, we'll get to those stories sometime eventually through this progress. Let's hope we can get it running. I'll give you a quick walk around here in a minute, and then we'll go at it. So the only thing I did was I was out here yesterday and I paid for it, and the only thing I did was squirt some lube on the hinges so that we could make sure that the hood didn't get all buckled. It already had started a little. You can see, boy, if I can get the light angle, so we're gonna have to tap on that a little and make sure it doesn't get, and then we may have to get some supports. But I also pulled the air cleaner off to see if the carb was locked up. It was not. I sprayed a little lube on there. Then we happened to notice over here that the cap was flopped off a little, and my uncle went to put it back on, and suddenly, and you can see one in there, these red death devil blood-sucking wasps came out and were mad, and the only thing we had was some knocker loose or Creole or whatever I've got, some WD-40 type stuff, and so we shot that in there, and that did nothing but make them mad. And so we said, well, we'll let it set overnight. So first thing I did when I got here is I sprayed them wasps because they was still alive, and it is a big giant nest. They have filled that overflow bottle with a couple different nests. I don't know if you can see down in there, but it is just full. So the quick walk around, it's blue and white, which is like the 79 I had. Four-wheel drive. It's got 3 rallies on it, 2 of them with trim rings, 1 with a center cap. It's a little bit rough. It's had look like some Bondo work done at some point, and it's been sitting out in the field forever. Back bumper's yanked around. It had a custom hitch, you know. It is the crank window style. My old 79 that I had was the electric window. But I also picked up a pair of fenders, front fenders, that had been setting. So we may have an easy fix on the front fenders when we go to do some body work. Some good trim here that we'll have to adjust. And you know, the tires, you just need to blow on them a little to get some air in them, and just a little rust and stuff. It's got the good quality tint in there. If you can see, you know, that's hanging on real good. And there's the rally with the center cap and some more rust, but all in all, it's not terrible. You know, here's the engine bay real fast. 350 in it. Now, it is a good wrench replacement 350. So it's newer, and I was told it was running when it was parked. You know how that goes. Yeah, whatever. You know, we got a bunch of lines have rotted away. It does have AC, but you know, it ain't got no belt on it. It does have headers. You know, cruise, that's a cruise, so it's pretty cool. The big thing that's cool is actually the seats are in fantastic condition. Cigarette hole there. The back seat is in immaculate condition. There's no tears or nothing in it. A little armor all wiped down, and that thing would be fantastic. Now, it does, you know, have some ventilation going out on the floorboard there. I haven't even looked under here. I'm sure it's the same and stuff. But my old 79 was a full-time four-wheel drive. This is not. This I believe 4 low, 2 high, 4 high. Yeah. So this is the 205 on it. So the old odometer says 28 4.4. So I'd say that's at least 100, if not 200. So, but you know, it's got the tilt and the cruise, so not bad for an 80. Did have air. It's got an old Craco stereo. We'll do something good with that, you know me. But some of you are probably going, oh, I don't know, how's an amp guy fix this? Well, you know, that's the power supply. So you just put new FETs in there, and you know, these are the outputs. So we just need to get some output FETs or maybe some good, you know, transistors on that, and because this is older. This truck's older. It's Class AB trucklifier. You know, it's not that modern digital stuff, that Class D. So we'll just get after it. So I'll try to do some stuff. First thing we're going to do is pop the brake boot, clean some of this junk off real quick. Pop the brake booster. Pour some brake fluid in there, because if by chance any of the brakes are going to work or anything else, maybe it'll drive some air bubbles out. We'll pull the carburetor off. We'll try to get down and pull the plugs. Not pull the carburetor off, pull the air cleaner off and stuff and get that situated. Try to pull the plugs and shoot a little lube. I got the bendy straw WD-40, and then we'll either get a hold of the belt or most likely put a socket on the crank and turn her over. So see if she'll go, and make sure she ain't got any stuck valves or anything. After that, we'll put a slap of battery in her and see if the starter works. After that, we'll unhook some, I'll need to unhook the fuel line. Look, it's got a Wix filter in there. Sweet. I think it was, you know, besides the fact that it was used and drove a whole lot, it's actually been a well taken care of rig, or at least they put money into it. So we're gonna find out. But if it'll spin, and then if the starter will spin it over, we'll dribble some fuel down the carburetor and put the plugs back in and see if she'll bark off. And if she does, then we'll start looking at the transmission after that. And then of course then we're going to have to check and see if these things will rotate, and probably get some you know, some output FETs for the output there. Well, if you look down in there, it doesn't look like I got any in the bottom. But I got full on the front, so we may have front brakes. Alright, finish that right up. We're just going to let that set in case it could bubble out a little bit. We'll clean a little of the brush that's grown in here out. Oh shit. Broke that right off. Dad burned it. Should have known that plastic was going to be brittle and not strong like it used to be. Maybe I'm just fatter than I was. No mice nests, really. We got a wasp nest and a bunch of acorns. That cleaned her out good enough. There's a wasp nest back there. Mud dauber, sorry, mud dauber. Mud dauber nest. Yeah, choke opened up. That seems like it's going to work. Let's pull the plug. Oh, the header's right in the way of pulling that plug. Let's try. Let's try that one. I at least want to look at one before we even try to spin it around. I may want to look at all 8. Yeah, they are AC Delco R45 TS's. And that one looks so. And that one looks in fantastic shape. Brown soot, so it may be a good runner. I think we're going to switch to see if I can crank it over twice by hand. She moved. It's probably easier to do from the bottom, but it's chigger season. Get this fuel filter disconnected here. That way if it does start, we ain't pulling no junk out of the tank, because I don't know what's in there. We'll prep this high quality battery area here. Now normally these are side terminal. I should put a little oil on that. I better go grab that, by the way. It's a PB blaster. I got the big shot. Whew, that stuff's expensive anymore. We'll get a little on that. I'm gonna put that back together. Battery tray's still partly there. This one's been converted to top terminals, so I'm gonna clean them, and we'll leave that one plug out. It kind of rotated. Maybe we'll just bump it real nice and gentle. I'm gonna unplug the power to the distributor so it can't fire off even if it had old gas in there, and we're just going to bump it real gentle. I got the best battery money can buy, the Never Start value. It doesn't even come with a go handle. By the way, as I make references, bleep bloop them down in the doobly-doo and tell me where they're from. So I got ground there, positive short, so I need positive here. Boy, a go handle would have been nice. Cheapest battery is going to be a little short.
That's what she said.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Such is my life. Let's see, I can get that off there. All right. So, tappity tap. Oh, I did clean that stuff. Good gravy, come on. You know, I look down in here. Somebody's yelling at the screen going, check your coolant, check your oil. We did check the oil the other day when we first got here, just peeked at it for 2 seconds. But we'll peek at it again. Hey, there is some fluid. It's about down there, but there is fluid. That's fantastic. We do, it's about a half a quart low on there. Doesn't smell too bad of fuel, so hopefully that means it's not been too awfully mangled. And there is blood on the blood stick, so that's good. That means we won't burn the tranny up. All right, we're gonna try just giving her a bump. Oh, I've got it hooked up. It didn't spark. I got to double check and make sure like other things are turned off. I'm surprised like wipers or headlights didn't go off. I will check everything in here. Well, it says we have way more than a full tank of gas. I found more wasps. Got my little zoomer with gas in it here. Let's see about filling that float bowl up. Wish I had a bigger bottle, but I don't. I was in a bit of a hurry today to get out here. We're running out of daylight. Dribble a little down in there. See what that does. See if we can get it to bark. I will give it the old lucky tap tap. Remember, we ain't got fuel line hooked up. Hopefully, maybe a float will unstick there. Oh, it sounded like the squirter worked a little. Power's hooked back up. She is an easy runner. Holy sh**, or holy crap. Beep that out. Go ahead. I'm gonna get the. Let's see what you see. Let's crank it up just a little here. So we got a runner. We're gonna stick this in here, hopefully somehow, some way. All right, we're at 12.4. We'll see if the alternator works when we fire it up here again. A little easy start there. All right, now we got to determine actually what's in the fuel tank, or rig up a different fuel line to see if this fuel pump's any good. And I don't have fuel line right now, so that's going to have to be tomorrow. And then let's get this set back on top of there. I don't know if any bubbles came out. We'll clamp that up. That way we can get it running long enough to check the dipstick and just put it in the gears. Then we got to start jacking stuff up and getting some wheels and tires fixed here, man. Oh, we had like 50 pounds of oil pressure. Oh, if we fire it one more time or fire it tomorrow, I'll take you in there, and the oil pressure shot right up. We're gonna have to do it one more time because I gotta get a video with my phone to send to my wife. Cause she thinks I'm crazy. I know I'm crazy, but she thinks I'm silly crazy. gonna be in it. Get you a picture of that elbow. I did gently push on this, and I don't feel no pedal, so that's not a good sign. But it does say we have full tank, more than a full tank gas, so that's good. But here we go. Like almost 40 psi. And we're out of fuel in the carburetor. So there it is. She is going to run. I'll be back in the morning because the sun's already set behind the trees and I need a little rest. I've been at work all day. I got tomorrow off. So either figure out if I can figure out what, if anything's in that fuel tank. I wish I may go to work and borrow an endoscope cam or something, if maybe I can see down in there. If the tank's like dry and clean, then we'll put gas in it and hook it back up and we'll run it, and then we'll check the transmission, and then I'm gonna bring the jacks out and everything else, and we'll have to get it up off the ground and get some tires on it. So I'll see you in the morning. Alright, we're back out here. I borrowed my buddy's boat tank because my boat tank is really old and it's just like this, but the bottom was getting super rusty and it'd been sitting outside and I was a little concerned, so I borrowed it real quick. Thanks, Jesse. And I got me some fuel line here. Had to go to like 3 different stores. Nobody wanted to seem to carry more than 2 feet of 3/8 fuel line. Don't ask me why. But we're going to hook you in right down there in that fuel filter. I don't know if you can see that. I can't hardly tell. I suck at this video recording stuff on this. But we'll go over there and then we'll hook you in to the other side of that boat tank. And we'll get enough gas up in here to actually get this thing running. Now I left my stand, I guess, for my video camera at home that sets big and tall, so I'm going to be sticking you with this magnetic one. And we'll hope it works. I got a little bitty one here. First time ever using it. We'll see how this goes. Now, I think that might have a return line when we get a better chance to get underneath here. I did bring some 1/4-inch hose to run another return to dump into this tank. So that we're not filling that tank up back there, because I'm going to want to drop it and figure out if it's in good condition. Have to go somewhere better to get it made. That's it running. We got the oil pressures. It's charging. It's smoking a little bit, but you know, I would too after I've been sitting for this long. I don't know if I showed, but he's last tagged in 04. She just barely got in on the tip there. Just the tip. So it ain't running perfect, but it's got vacuum leaks because a lot of those hoses were brittle. I'll have to plug some of them up and everything. I just want to let it sit there and run, get some heat soak in it. I'd like to see that it doesn't overheat. This will give me a chance to get the transmission filled up so we can kind of see if it'll engage before we start jacking up and putting the wheels and tires. Speaking of wheels and tires, there are the 31 1050s I picked up. Mounted up on those rims. I think they're going to look just fine on this old bird for now. There's that wasp. That wasp is between us and our wasp spray. That's just not cool. Aha! There's a couple of them. Uh-oh, sounds like we ran out of gas. I thought I put plenty of gas in there. Let me check. Yes, we did. So that confirms my suspicion that this is new enough that I'll have to get down there. That fuel pump's got a return on it. I need to get that return going back into the tank. Otherwise, we're just pumping fresh fuel back into that old tank back there, and we don't need that right now. Tire rolls. We're gonna break that free while we go do this. I gotta get it up in the air enough to be able to get underneath it. Well, they spin, so we're going to try to drive it before we worry about perfect brakes. The brake pads look good, so we're going to go with that. Oh, had to go buy all new lug nuts for these mag style. That cost a fortune. My envelope is dry. You guys are probably going to see some classic Rockfords for sale. make sure that back spacing doesn't rub those. I don't really want them on there anyway. But, you know, getting home kind of thing. It sounds empty. Poured a little in there and I don't see anything dripping out. I'm just so hot and tired. It's running. We're about to find out if that fuel tank clogs everything up. Feels like we got gears. I need to check the training fluid level for. Oh yeah, she clunked into gear. She's starting to warm up. It seems to be pulling enough gas out of the tank to work on it, so I'm gonna get some more gas, but I'm gonna get on this wheels. I'll bring my torque wrench, my longer extension, back when I bring gas to put a good torque on those for certain. But I put my fat bud into it. I got a fat bud. It'll be enough to creep around here for a minute.
Officer says they go by too bad. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Get us home. Rolling smoke. There's stuff falling off of it.